Welcome to the Hampton Bride podcast, your insider guide to planning a wedding across the Hamptons, Montauk, and the North Fork. I'm your host, Janelle Brooke, New York wedding photographer and creative storyteller. Each week, I'll share practical planning advice and candid conversations with experienced local vendors who know the East End inside and out. Let's pull back the curtain on what makes this place such a dream setting to say I do. Are you ready? Let's go. Today's episode is all about guest experience, and we are taking it to the next level. So, couples planning for 2026 and 2027, they are moving beyond traditional entertainment and leaning into experiences that feel personal, memorable, and truly one of a kind. I am so excited to be joined by Hamptons Ink, a local tattoo studio and mobile event experience that has been making waves across the Hamptons and beyond. From permanent tattoos to custom temporary designs, they are redefining how couples create meaningful moments for their guests during wedding weekends, welcome parties, and all kinds of celebrations. We're talking trends, real wedding stories, and what couples should actually consider before incorporating a tattoo experience, and why this has become such a powerful part of modern day wedding culture. So, whether you are in the early stages of planning or looking for something unforgettable to wow your guests, you're going to love this conversation. Let's dive on in. Mike, I am so excited that you're here. Thank you for traveling to Huntington all the way from out east to be here with us.
Thank you for having me. You make me sound so cool, by the way. Thanks. That intro was great.
Wow. It's very well deserved. So super, super excited for this. So before we just get into all the good stuff, can you just give us a little bit of history about where you started and your journey as a tattoo artist? Um, how did you start your tattoo studio in the Hamptons, and how did the whole mobile event concept evolve?
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Brooklyn, so me and my brother, excuse me, opened up a tattoo shop in the neighborhood that we grew up in. It was this small little area in the back of a barber shop where we got our hair cut since we were like 4 years old. So I grew up there, tattooed there, and it wasn't until around 2019 after I got married, my beautiful wife Kat, who's not here with us right now, taking care of our two kids. Um, but we moved out east. We wanted to start a life outside of the city. This is right before COVID, obviously. And we were looking around the area that she grew up in Rockville Center, and things weren't really panning out. So we had an opportunity to come out east, which she's been coming here her whole life. Summers here. Her family's been coming out since like the 60s. So they had like a base there, and an opportunity came up, and we took it. I believe beginning of 2020, we opened our shop March 2020, March 1st. We were closed March 14th, 2020.
I was just gonna say the timing, the
Yeah, it
timing of
was
everything.
it was not ideal, but you know, could have been a lot worse. Thank God it wasn't. Um, so we trucked through that. Everyone was like so excited that we were finally on the East End. We were the only tattoo shop in Sag Harbor, its first tattoo shop ever. Um, Probably the first shop east of like Riverhead, I would say. Um, and like I said, we closed down. The buzz was great. Everybody was anticipating that we came out by the end of COVID. I had like a list of 30 people that wanted to get tattooed because small town vibes. Everybody heard how we were doing, and I'm coming from the city, so it was a little bit of a different breed, which I loved because I loved that everybody knew each other and they were excited. And I was excited to be the first. Well, me and my wife were the first to bring tattoos to the Hamptons, which was great.
That is so awesome. And how did you get started in weddings?
Th- This is a funny idea because I always wanted to do this in the city, but the two problems that I had was I was a young tattooer, so I was poor, and I had no money. And the second barrier was I would have nowhere to store this mobile unit. So uh, I wanted to get my bearings in tattoos first to build up a clientele. And I've always been thinking about ways to push the industry because it's a very traditional industry.
Yes.
And a lot of old heads are very stuck in their, that's what we call them, old heads. They're very
Boomers.
stuck in their ways. Yeah, boomers, but
Boomers.
more hard edge boomers. Um,
God.
they're stuck in the very traditional way of tattooing, and I see it more, especially with this younger generation. Like, it's been opening up because it's becoming so popular. I think it's really unique to find someone who doesn't have a tattoo these days than someone who does, or like they don't just have one if they do. So I've always been exploring that avenue, and finally the opportunity came up, especially after COVID. Everybody wanted everything coming to them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I can totally relay to some of what you're saying because I started my photography business in 2008. So this is like pre-social media.
mhm.
Totally dating myself here, but it's okay. And I have seen so many trends and so many different things come and go in every aspect of the wedding industry. So I think what's interesting, and just to tie into, I guess, the theme of today's episode is all about guest experience, right? And so what we're seeing couples do now is they're putting a huge emphasis on guest experience. So I'm curious from your perspective, how has the wedding entertainment evolved, and where do you see tattoo experiences fitting into modern weddings, especially for 2026, 2027 couples?
Well, I think, like I said before, the tattoo industry is changing, and it's very normalized now. It's not like taboo. It's not rebellious. It's pretty much an expression of who people are, and that, I feel like, for weddings, that's kind of like the whole point, right?
Mhm.
That's the day that everyone's going to remember of you. So I feel like just this expression like morphed together. I always went into this wanting to be a part of the experience. So I'm not just like a booth that's on the side. It's like we're a part of your day. We're a part of the whole experience, and we're an expression of you. Because
Love that.
I talk with brides beforehand, and we curate a whole flash sheet that their guests will get. So like it is a collaboration between the two of us, or the three of us, I should say.
I I totally understand and love everything that you're saying about being a part of, the journey with the couple, but just to get back to the guests for a second, because I think this is a question that I don't know, just it just immediately came to my mind, is that obviously people have guests that have never had a tattoo before, right? So how do you make that experience comfortable and exciting for someone who's never had a tattoo in their life?
I have to say, I love the first timer
Okay.
because, like, it's um, just that feeling of like anticipation. Some people think it's very intimidating
Mm.
and chaotic, but that's not the case at all. It's actually the exact opposite. Like, the way that I've designed this, it's built to be like comfortable. It's exactly like my shop. You come in, you are in a well lit area. I have music playing. Like, it's comfortable, and you get to know me, and there's a connection too between the guests. It's fun for them. Even if they don't want to get a tattoo, they could come onto the bus and just share in the experience. They could watch, they could ask questions. It's a whole immersive experience. So I never pressure anyone to get a tattoo, but I think it's fun for the guests if we're talking experience. It's almost like the bride and groom are rock stars on their day. So people come up to the bus. It's like they're at a concert. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
And you bring it to them.
right.
I feel like I skipped over that, but you
Yes.
have this ability to actually bring your tattoo shop to the wedding.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And it's not just like a little rinky dink van. Like, I put floors, like we're in the
Of
studio.
course.
Like, that's how I wanted it to be elevated and exclusive. I didn't want it to just be like I'm selling hot dogs on the corner. That's not at
Yeah.
all what I'm going for.
Right.
This is a luxury thing, luxury event.
I love that. And you also offer temporary tattoos for those who might just not be completely
Yes.
ready.
For the faint of
So
heart.
they Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So that's good. So at least people have that
Yeah,
option.
and I also have an option for kids too, so you can it's like a little I'm not sure if you ever see those tattoo sleeves with parental consent, of course, but the kids could get involved. So there's something for everyone at your wedding. It's not exclusive just to the adults, and the kids have to stay away. Like
Okay.
everybody can be a part of this moment.
That's so
Yeah,
cool. So my 10-year-old could get a sleeve.
they could. Yeah, yeah. Oh well,
That's
for the
amazing.
temporary ones, I would do the same way that someone would get a permanent one. I would put the stencil on first, and then I would tattoo over the stencil with the needle. But for the temporary one, I would just put the stencil on, and that stencil stays on for days. So
Wow.
even if like you don't end up getting the tattoo, like you still see that's your favor. You still see it for a few days.
I think that's so cool. That's awesome. So I'm sure you have stories for days. I have no doubt. Um, but can you just share with us, like maybe one of, I don't know, just a story that really stands out to you, whether it was really meaningful or funny or just I don't know, just something that like what would be like the first chapter of a book? Like just shoot.
Well, I do what I do because it's all about the experience and it's a bonding between the two of us because you're going to look down at this and not only see me but see how you remember how you felt, remember where you were, remember who you were with. So that's really what it is for me. So I was at this wedding. Obviously, you do like these little funny little things on the flash sheet that people pick, or a little bit more serious ones. But the one that stands out to me is this family of the bride. I believe it was like extended family or couples or cousins. Sorry, but they picked out one lotus flower that I had put on the flash sheet, and for some reason, this symbol meant a lot to them. And this is what I would get in the shop too. Like usually families will come in together because they want to all get the same tattoo. So I ended up tattooing about 5 or 6 of them, just this little lotus flower. And it was cool because at no other time were they able to get together to do this one piece except
Mm.
for this wedding, which was cool because that's really the whole reason why everyone's there to celebrate. They celebrate with their family, the people they love, and they'll remember that forever.
That is really special.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Haven't had any crazy things happen yet, but I'm sure I will.
I'm sure you will.
At my
The
studio, that's a
seasons.
different story, but on this tattoo bus, I keep it classy.
Got it. Got it. Um, so let me just ask you, I mean, if you had to predict, how would you see experiential services like your own shaping weddings over the next few years? I mean, especially on the East End.
Well, I think they're becoming way more popular than they were. It's not really um, like a one formal day anymore. It's like a weekend event and um, or like an after party for a few days or like months before the wedding. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing more of. So usually I have bride and groom book the bus for the reception, but I also do bachelorette parties and
Mm.
pre-wedding. I had one bride. She wanted me to come at like 9 in the morning to be a part of her pictures. So like I was I was there before the event, and then I almost like followed the bus to the reception. So I was a part of the whole event. So I feel like to answer your question, it's just evolving. That's like the new thing. You curate this whole experience, and whatever cool new thing that can connect you to your guests, that's what's going to win out at the end of the day, I think. And I think
Yeah.
this is a cool new, very new. And this is the only one on in Suffolk and Nassau. So
I think it's so cool. I
yeah.
have not actually personally been to a wedding yet that you have been a part of, and I can't wait. I wanna look at my 2026 calendar and just reach out to everybody and let them know. I think it's the coolest thing. Um, yeah, again, I mean, we're seeing this all over, even with different vendors as well. Permanent jewelry, I know, is one that I just had experience with more recently. But I think going back to COVID, uh, you know, remember when people couldn't dance on the dance floor. Remember where there were dancing squares? I mean, this sounds so insane. Someone who's getting married in 2026 might be like, Janelle, what are you talking about? You and Mike are crazy. But this actually happened. And, people had to postpone their wedding. And in 2021, when we came back, they had dancing squares and you had to be a certain distance away from people. And mark my words, back then I said, receptions are going to change. It's not just going to be focused on dancing. People are going to have to come up with things that are different, that are going to be exciting for their guests. Dinner theater. I feel like I've seen crazy acrobatic performances
That's
during wedding receptions. So I think that this whole idea of these experiences has been evolving for some time. I don't think it happened overnight, but
for sure. For
I'm
sure.
I'm excited for it, and I love the wedding weekend concept. That's another episode that we have coming up as well. Um, so I guess as far as the experience for a bride who is looking to potentially book your services, what does that look like? Could you just walk us through you know, the involvement, the steps, and what goes into, um, how you plan this out together?
Sure. I mean, it really depends on how you find us. I have my Instagram, I have my website, and you're able to fill out a form for a quote, and you'll let me know times you're available. I'll give you a call, and then we talk through everything. So if you want to know pricing, if you want to know how many people can be done in a certain amount of time, if you want to know what I offer in additions, because we'll do piercings as well. We also have a photographer and videographer just for the bus, so we could put together a highlight reel just for that moment at your wedding, so you don't have to bother your main photographer.
That's so cool.
Um, and I'll answer any questions that you have. Like I said, it's a collaboration between me and the couple, so they'll let me know what their theme is, what they're going for, how many people will be there, and I'll put together anything like a whole flash sheet. We'll put together timing blocks, and I recommend that people do it sooner rather than later. Like once the venue's booked, that's when it's time to book our services because I only have one date. Obviously, if that date gets booked,
Sure.
you know, I can't I can't do two in one day. So
Sure, absolutely. And then in terms of putting together those sheets, so obviously it's a condensed version of what you would offer at your shop in
correct.
Sag Harbor, right?
And it's specific to your event. So if your theme is uh, the ocean, it'll be
Mhm.
all specific to nautical type flash tattoos.
Got it.
Nothing bigger than a quarter because we want as many guests as possible to
Sure.
be involved in the experience and to, if that's your favor, like you want as many guests as possible to get the favor.
Yeah.
And it's better than just a glass that you keep in your house and then throw away after a little bit, something that's on you
I
forever.
totally agree. I totally agree. I love this. Um, is there any other practical advice that you want to give to couples who are planning their wedding before we, you know, wrap up? Is there anything that you can think of that you want to share?
I would just say timing is everything for this. So figure out when you would want it because, like I said, obviously during the reception is recommended, but depending on the vibe you're going for, the after party usually is a good time too. Everyone's a little bit more relaxed. Or like I said, the welcome weekend. It's really up to you and how you want to curate your experience because I'm there for you. So if you want me there at the crack of dawn, I'll be there. If you want me there till 2 in the morning, I'll be there. As long as we get what you're going for, that's what I want to bring to this
Yeah.
event.
Tattoos and mimosas.
That's it.
Tattoos and mimosas. It's a new catchphrase. All right. Well, this has been awesome. Super fun, eye-opening conversation. I love it. I just think that it's so great how this is where guests are heading, right? Towards intentional experiences, lots of storytelling. I love that story about the lotus flower. I think that's really super unique. And hopefully that's inspiring to a couple who's listening to this right now. Yeah, I think it's a memory that people are going to be talking about long after the wedding. And I love that. So thank you so much for being here, Mike.
Thank you. Thank
And
you again for inviting me.
and best of luck to your beautiful wife with her pregnancy.
Thank you so
And
much.
we're just
Number three.
really, yeah, number 3. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening to the Hampton Bride podcast. If today's episode was helpful, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss a conversation. And please take a moment to leave a review. It truly helps other couples to find the show. You can connect with me on social media for behind the scenes moments, wedding inspiration, and updates on future episodes. So until next time, enjoy the planning process, trust your vision, and remember, this season is meant to be savored. I'll see you on the next episode of the Hampton Bride podcast.